Topic is simple, and my argument is that no, what we need is a plan, it's a national strategy for development. It must not be 40 years. It can be less, it can be effective, and it has to have other things that make us all rally behind it. It is easy to go for something like a 40-year development plan because we've had 58 or so years, and the biggest cry nationally is that we have not lived up to our expectations in terms of development. Because of that, we look for reasons, and everybody says we need a long-term plan, everybody must work into the long-term plan, manifestos are not the way, etc. But we should be careful in running after the populist sentiment, not to repeat the mistakes that we've been making. So like he said, we've had many plans, 13 I've counted. We're a world-champion planner. After Kwame Nkrumah, nobody has been able to achieve any of those plans. Do we need another plan? If you want to solve the problem, as Professor will know as a medical person, you have to diagnose properly. The problem is not plans, it's bad leadership and a failure to follow through with the plans. Part of the reason why we don't follow through with these plans is because the plans are convoluted, they are wrongly couched. A couple of people enter a certain room, believe that a certain set of things are a problem, come up with a whole list of things that we must do and we will do, and they do whatever they want to do. When they are gone, it's gone with them. We should not repeat the same problem. What is a long-term plan anyway? A long-term plan does not have to be 40 years. We don't have 40 years to spend. It's okay to have a vision. Dreaming is free. But planning is where you apply intellect to put together a set of actionable decisions towards a particular goal. And I don't think we should spend time and resource going at it for a 40-year horizon. The problem with this whole idea of 40 years is that immediately somebody tells you I'm going to plan for 40 years, it gives you the idea that they have the wrong mindset. And that is where our problems start. There is something I call the envy list of Ghana. We have a series of countries that we always name when we want to talk about who has left us behind. We talk about Malaysia, we talk about Singapore, we talk about all those other people. And sometimes we include China, Korea, India. Here's an important point to note. They all have dreams. Some of them have 50-year dreams. China has something like a 100-year dream. But check, and thank God for Google, check again. Almost all of them, Korea, China, even today, have a series of 5-year development plans. After every 5 years, they go for the next 5, and then they go for the next 5, and then they go for the next 5. They have a dream. A dream is not a plan. We are purporting to proceed along the lines to craft a 40-year development plan. It is not feasible politically because our political system is not designed to take care of that. What we must change is the paradigm we are operating with, not the political system. It is not feasible economically because nobody can tell how the economy will be in 20 years. 20 years ago, we did not have WhatsApp, we did not have Facebook. 20 years ago, we did not have Twitter. 20 years ago, we did not have broadband in this level. Indeed, a granite seller in Techiman today has better technology than the US President Ronald Reagan had in his time. And that's just a few decades back. Because in this day and age, the pace of development is so fast that it's preposterous to try and reach beyond 20 years. People have tried, and if I have the time, I'll talk to you about some of the people who tried to dream beyond 10, 20 years and how wrong they were. So my point remains, 40-year development plan is not feasible. It's not practical to do. It's not necessary to do. That won't solve the problem because our problem is not planning. It's implementing the plan. And indeed, we can't reach into 40 years. We have presently, as we speak, existential problems confronting us. Existential because we don't deal with them, we would actually die. Just a few months ago, people died in this country because of cholera. What we need to do is to deal with these things because you know what? If your grandfather had planned your life and how you live it today, your idea of 3D will be watching Uncle Ebo. Okay? Your idea of communication will be posting letters. There is no way they could have contemplated WhatsApp and Twitter and all those things. So you don't want your grandfather to plan your life. What he has to do for you is set a solid foundation and a base upon which you will build. My grandchild does not want me to plan his life. What they want me to do is to set a solid base. We have a country that is struggling with water, with health, with education, with energy, with transport and telecommunications, and we are purporting to plan. I know you will hear things like, oh, the plan intends to have, all these things built in. The plan is going to be cyclical over a number of years and all that kind of thing. It is important, if you are crafting a national plan, to craft it in such simple and clear terms that it resonates with everybody, low or high. The way to do that is to make sure that national plan is simple but powerful. If you go out there today and you tell the average taxi driver that transformative, inclusive, we will take 5 years of our time, and we are going to make sure that over the 5-year period, every town and village in Ghana has water. Everybody can go to the hospital. Every child in Ghana will be educated. Over that 5 years, these 3 things are going to be the things that we will focus on to transform this country. Everything else is going to work alongside it, but we will achieve this in 5 years. After the next 5 years, we are going to go on to deal with issues of energy, we will deal with issues of transport and communications, fix our railways and everything, and we will deal with issues of broadband so that you can send your text even if you're a farmer. Make it simple. Make it so simple of everything that is fundamentally 1 and 2, that no political party will be able to depart from it. Because if you do, sold now is the problem, not the solution.
So, Mate, these are the